welcome back to another East County Voices. Are you counting down?
I was.
All right.
Hello.
Anyways, we got Nicole, we got Gavin, we got Rachelle, we got Devin. What is going on tonight? Take it away. Wait, Nicole.
We're here with Rachelle Jeffries, who's going to speak about the incident at KinderCare with her babies, her beautiful babies. So we're going to cover that. Devin is here for support. And then Gavin is also going to speak on what happened in Antioch last night at the city council. And then I'll also do some community updates. But for right now, we want to just get into our welcome for Rachelle and Devin as our guests tonight. And as always, our Carlos Tacos and our baby Gavin. Welcome to Wednesday night.
Welcome.
Hey,
Patricia.
Patty. Love you. Miss you.
Hey,
So, Rachelle, if you want to start with what you have on your heart to say, you can definitely do that.
Okay. So with that first, thanks for having me. And actually, you guys' support means everything. You guys hit the ground running when it comes to the community and also the children. More so of just spreading awareness on what's going on in Pittsburgh in our own backyard, more so at KinderCare and the staff at KinderCare, the directors at KinderCare, and also the trauma that my kids and also others kids experience there. More so, it don't look like things is moving, but behind the scenes they are. Community Care State Licensing is investigating. They also are digging back 2 to 3 years for other allegations that have been put forward that also was dismissed. So they're reopening those allegations as well and diving more deep, reaching out to those families who also unenrolled their kids due to they didn't know who to go to and who to call. More so talking to those kids and those teachers that is no longer working there that also brought allegations up that got swept under the rug as well. So they're actually is doing heavy investigation from the community state licensing side and also the Pittsburgh police investigation as well too. So our family is just more so just taking one day at a time, actually, just more so of just trying to, stay focused on the positive things and ensuring that our kids have the support that they need. They are in therapy now, so that's a stepping stone right there.
Yes, she does.
We've been getting asked a lot of questions. When are we going to go to therapy? But to be honest, we're focusing on the kids right now. Because now it's starting to affect our 12-year-old son as well. And also it's affecting our whole household. We are resource parents as well for Contra Costa County. So we do have other children in our home too that is also coming from a negative background, and they hearing what's going on with our kids, so that's affecting them as well too. And their 12-year-old, they go to school, they have friends, they see things that's happening, and what we're doing to ensure that it don't happen to another kid. And if we can do it, we just going to keep doing it, and we're not going to stop until accountability, until she is terminated, until the director is terminated, until her employees is terminated, and also KinderCare is held responsible all over, because it started from Antioch and it moved to Pittsburgh. And I just feel like a lot of parents had unanswered questions. And to be honest, if I can be a voice, I will advocate for us all. And it's just more so of just being able to have a day-to-day life, still work, still function, and still try to do this on the side. It's been hard. It's been rough. I started off at 205. I stepped on the scale. I'm 183. That means that something is off.
Yeah. Stress.
It's been a stressful run, honestly. But with the help of you guys and the support from the community, the support from our family, and that's keeping us going. No lie. It's been times where I break down and cry just thinking about it, and it's just like I just can't believe that it's been going on for so long.
Right,
So
right.
long.
Well, you have to make sure that in addition to the baby's health, because May is Mental Health Awareness Month and everyone's mental health is important. And you
Mhm.
have to make sure that you increase your pouring to each other
Right,
also, because you guys need to be okay. Because if you're not okay, the babies aren't going to be okay regardless. So
right.
you two have to make sure you take time for self-care and for you and do what you need to help you, and you're doing amazing. You are very powerful. You are very strong and you are doing an amazing, amazing job. And
Thank
I'm
you.
very proud of you. And I'm glad that you're standing up for not just your babies, but for everybody's baby. And all the people that we've been spreading the word to and talking to are basically at this point, KinderCare needs to be shut down. And if that's what we have to do, that's what we'll do because they've been allowing it for years upon years upon years. It didn't just start happening with this
Yeah,
lady.
yes, we're all reaching for the business license, especially in Pittsburgh. Like you've been here, you the director been here for 30 years. You knew what was going on, and instead
Yeah,
of being preventative and ensure the kids' safety matters, you didn't do that.
right. Exactly.
Yeah.
Profit over the babies. Yes, Devin.
I just wanted to ask Rochelle, for some of the people who may be watching that don't know your story, do you want to give like the cliff notes, just so they understand the context around the conversation, if that's okay with you? I know it's kind of
Oh,
traumatic
no, no,
to
that's
talk
totally
about it.
fine. I'd
Okay.
rather be upfront and no sugarcoating. So for everyone that's new watching, our children um, was previously at a daycare facility, care very known nationwide, statewide, and a teacher was physically abusing them. Our 5-year-old daughter shared with us one night during bath time that she does not have any favorite teachers, and we asked her why she don't have any favorite teachers, and she stated because, and she stopped, she paused, she was getting very emotional, started crying. We had to hold her, console her, rub her back, let her know like she can open up, she can talk to us about anything like we always do. So she shared with us that the teacher yanked her arm, yanked her into a chair and shoved the chair up into the table. And that whole week, my daughter had a faint red line across her stomach. But I didn't know where it was. I didn't know where it was from because she wear tights. She go to gymnastics, so I'm thinking it's from her clothes, or maybe she had something around her stomach or her little dresses she was wearing. So I didn't know that it was because my daughter was being physically abused by her teacher, who we trusted, um, and that was supposed to support her while we gone to work for 8 hours. So, and then she is a twin. So we asked her twin brother separately from her, has he experienced anything at school? He said, actually, he mentioned, because he's very articulate, he literally expresses himself very well. He said, well, actually, Miss Lydia, and Miss Lydia is the person, the teacher, she actually yanked his arm and squeezed it very tightly, very in a very tight hole. And we even asked them to demonstrate on their stuffies, on their dolls, and show us like exactly what happened. And when I say how they do it, you would think they watched it off a movie scene. Like this is it's complete torture. Like why are you mishandling children? And we
Right.
asked her like, how long have this been going on? Her word she would use is forever, like every day, mommy, like every day. And I would say for the last 2 months, we picked her before school. She would give my wife a huge meltdown. Like she did not want to go, crying, screaming, just having a fit. And when I do, and I'm the one that do pickup. So when I do pick up, I see like dried up tears over her face. And our kids is normally very talkative. So that's how I knew that something was off. That's how I knew something was wrong. And every time I brought it up to the director, hey, what's going on? Why every time I pick up my daughter, she's always sad. Like, what's going on here? It's, oh no, we had to move her from the fives class, put her in the twos class. She's better over there. No, she's not better over there. Something is going on in his fives class. That's why y'all move my baby, because my kids, they're going to listen until otherwise. If you're mishandling, mistreating them, that's when they're not going to listen. So they moved her, and it was just more so. I'm just thankful that she did open up about it, because if she didn't open up, she would still be there. other kids will still be there. So, but it's just sad that it take a 5-year-old to speak up, and it's grown adults that's going to work every day around these kids as mandated reporters, and they couldn't say a thing.
Right.
So it's just more so of just bringing awareness to child abuse and child neglect, and that's why I'm here today, actually.
Hi.
Yeah.
Hi,
Thank you for
everyone. Thank
sharing
you
that
for
again.
joining. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you for. It's a lot. It's a lot. Boy, I just know that I have a thing for helping just period, but especially when it comes to helpless babies, you have no business hurting babies at all. There's no reason for it. You are being paid and those babies are in your care, and parents are trusting that when they drop off their babies, they're going to come back the same or even better than they were when you dropped
Right.
them. Definitely not harmed and worse off, you know? So, well, yeah. We have a if the family isn't in therapy start, which you're going to eventually, you'll get there. So,
Yes, but the kids, we're starting with the kids first.
yeah, yeah.
I know we have some questions scheduled. I did have a follow-up question, if that's okay with the host of the show. Okay.
Yeah.
So thank you again for sharing, Rochelle. I do want to say I was able to participate at the rally last week, and I was really happy to be there to be in community with you and everyone
Yeah.
else
Thank you.
advocating. That was great. And I did get a chance to talk to some of the other mothers that came out that had spoke with you and saw you you advocating for this online and getting, going to city council meetings. How does it make you feel to know that because you spoke out when others didn't, that now they have a voice as well? And how do you want to continue carrying out that this mission to get justice for your children and other children?
Actually, I feel very good because I'm also giving other parents a voice as well, that couldn't do it, and the courage to do it more so, and the bravery, and to let them know that you don't have to fear speaking up for your children, and just being a good advocate, because I noticed that was the reason, that's what stopped parents from actually going forward, because things was getting brushed off, things was getting not looked into, not investigated, and they went to community care license, and that should have been a stumping ground where
Right.
they had a resolution to fix this, but they were sending out investigators who was more so of speaking with the directors, and also not actually truly investigating, and just being so I want to continue this. I mean, to be honest, this was a calling from God. No way, because if it who else was going to do it? It's been going on
Right.
way too long. And honestly, she put her hands on the wrong kids, and she got the right person, right mother, that's going to actually go above and beyond. And I will go above and beyond for anyone else. And that's another thing. It was a language barrier for some families. They was getting shut down because they probably couldn't fully vocal out, and didn't have a translator at the time when it was time to talk to an investigator, and things like that. I feel like each parent should have somewhere where they can go to, or someone they can go to that is able to advocate for them if they can't do it. And I'm actually happy that I was able to do that and be the light for other families in the dark tunnel, because it's hard, and it takes a village, to be honest, and it takes someone who's actually not scared to go up against, and I'm not scared.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely.
Thank you for your bravery. Thank you for your
Yes.
tenacity. Thank you for your strength in this. Both of you.
Thank you.
So let's see. We want to know what made you want to give this story a platform, and also what message do you want the community to get from being on here and speaking up?
First and foremost, I brought this to light to bring awareness because I know it goes on across the world, across the globe, but it's different when it's somewhere where you actually grew up. And I grew up in Pittsburgh, graduated from Pittsburgh High, bought our first home in Pittsburgh. I don't want my kids to be validated in Pittsburgh. I want them to succeed in Pittsburgh. And I don't want any harmful human around any other kids in our community that is hurting kids. So I had to go public with it. And I feel like if I didn't go public with it, the behind the scenes will be dragging their feet.
Right.
And I feel like now that it's public, it's known, everybody is on top of it. It's a lot of hands on it. And that is what is needed because these are our babies. These are our children. The children is the future.
Yes.
And it could be worse. It could be worse. Luckily that our kids was able to voice it and they wasn't unalive during this process because a lot of kids, it happens.
Right.
And it didn't even have to be a child care facility. It can be a family friend, someone you actually trusted with your kids. I mean, this goes on every day throughout life. And it's just more so of you just have to be preventative. And I've been in the security industry for the last 13 plus years. And I love my job. I love what I do. I love helping people. I love ensuring that someone else's safety before mine. And it's just more so that's the type of person that I am. So when it comes to my kids, just imagine what I would do.
Right.
And in that aspect, just letting the community know that it is good people in this world. And that's the thing I think that people don't think is good people in this world. And it's good people in this world. And it's okay to teach your kids to speak up. It's okay to voice your concerns and your opinions and not feel that your voice doesn't matter. And that's the main goal. That's the reason why I wanted to bring this to light. This is the reason why I'm not scared for the world to know the truth that's going on behind the walls.
Yeah, and that's great, and that's amazing. And also, people don't understand that hurting and traumatizing children makes for hurt and traumatized adults. And hurt people, and then some people don't get the healing they need. Some people don't get the therapy they need, and then they turn into adults, and you wonder, why is this person like that? Because 9 times out of 10, something happened to them when they were a child that they never got fixed within themselves.
Correct.
So now they're out here harming other people unnecessarily when all they had to do was take care of whatever needed to be taken care of inside of them.
And that doubles back on mental health because something's hurting you deep inside for you to do that to children. And more so of that. That's why we have to pay attention to the signs. A lot of people don't even know that you're dealing with mental illness until you actually go through it. And then it just brings more light to it. And then if you don't pay attention to the signs, you will never know. And that's where the psychotic side come out. And I feel like she's psychotic because not in your right mind. I honestly feel like deep down in her soul that she's hurting.
Yeah.
She's hurting.
Yeah.
This is her outlet. It was no proof. It was no video. The kids can speak and kids can, and that's the proof. That's the only proof that we need.
Right. Absolutely. And it's so important for parents to understand that they need to ask their children, especially when you're sending them off to people to look over them outside of your home. You need to always ask your children, because sometimes people think that children have attitudes or just whatever the case, they're just being whatever. No, maybe you need to take the time to speak to them and ask them important questions and really find out what's going on, because something could be happening that they're scared to tell you or just whatever the case may be. So if you spend time trying to actually talk to them and understand them, then you may get some information that you didn't know about, and you can go from there and correct it.
You're absolutely right. Just speaking with your kids. And that's the thing. Even though our twins is 5, we speak to them like we call them little young adults, because in their mind, they're very advanced. And it's more so of what we're teaching them. And I'm very open with my kids. I don't sugarcoat it, because we talk about life and what you're going to see throughout life. And it's okay to be your authentic self and not have to put on a facade or image or portray yourself as something that you're not. You're hanging around, and it could be with kids too. Kids like to, they're not used to having the correct guidance, and they shift off. But it's okay to redirect them, and that's the thing. Kids need redirection. They need support. They need a listening ear, and that's the only thing that we can be, because as I mentioned, I didn't have that growing up. So I will go above and beyond and ensure that I can be that for my kids, so they can have a safe place they can come to. Because without a safe place, kids start doing things they should not do. And
Exactly.
keep things inside of them.
Yeah.
And that's where suicide awareness come in at too. You got to think of a bigger picture, and not just, oh, my kid is just acting out. They're acting out for a reason. Something happened. Dig deeper.
Right. Patricia just made a good point that there were a lot of adults that were being bullied in the Antioch Unified School District, and they were scared to speak out. And it's sad that, again, adults are scared to speak out, and they're at work being bullied. We spoke out against that. Devin and I, Gavin, we all were there and spoke out, and Patty brought awareness to that, got us all involved, and then things changed, which is great. So they're doing better now, I hope. I don't know if it's completely wrapped up, but we supported them, and then they also decided, guess what? We're not going to be scared. We're going to speak up. We know that people are listening. We know that something is going to happen, and we're going to move forward with, better days. Everybody needs support.
And there's a new school board with elected leaders that are hopefully going to be more accountable than this last body was. And so moving forward, we just have to continue to be advocates for accountability. So absolutely agree with everything y'all said.
Right.
So I have a couple questions. What do you think parents should do if their child tells them something happened at daycare? And then also, how can we support other moms and dads who are scared to speak out?
To be honest, so I'm trying to brainstorm different ideas, because I think we need a 411, a hotline number that they can call. And it's a bunch of us on there that can actually help and assist them. But that's something that me and my wife was talking about the other day, because to be honest, it's truthful, because as I told you, a lot of parents that came forward, they didn't know the proper steps to take. And I feel like anytime you're signing your kids up for daycare or putting them in a new school, even during new school enrollment, they have the orientations. During orientation, they can have someone speak on, this is who you contact. This is the proper channels. If an incident happened or occurred and your kid bring it up, this is where you can go. Like, it should be a table set at all. I feel like in Pittsburgh Unified School District, all in the whole. More so, because things don't just happen at daycares. They happen in middle schools, elementary schools, high schools. So it's more so during those enrollments, they should have someone there for them. Also, it should be a plaster somewhere in the schools that it's a list of numbers and resources that they can go to, and the proper steps that they can go to when a kid do bring something up to them. And also, if you are a parent and a kid brings something up to you, believe your kid. Do not protect the predator and say, oh, this didn't happen. Are you sure this didn't happen?
Right.
You need to believe your kid, because your kid is not just going to say something if it didn't happen, unless that they're being groomed to say otherwise.
Right.
That's the only way. But
right.
I think that more so, believe your kid. Even if it's not your kid, if you working, because I did work, I was a CRA for Pittsburgh Unified School District, but I ended up had to leave because I couldn't work 2 jobs and be a mom and try to run day-to-day life. It was a lot. So I was working. I worked at Black Diamond. I worked at Pittsburgh High. I worked at Hillview Elementary. Hillview Middle School. And more so, and I was seeing the kids that experiencing difficulties probably at home, and also it rubbed off at school. And it was just more so they just needed someone to listen to them and also point them in the right directions, who they can talk to more so, because these are not troubled kids, especially at Black Diamond. These kids are not troubled. They're not. They might be behind on credits. They just might can't keep up at Pittsburgh High, but these are not troubled kids. They're not bad kids. And I connected with them. I helped them. I talked to them. They just want someone to listen to them and point them in the right direction, and not just always blame them as being a problem child.
Right.
So, to be honest, it's a lot that can be enforced, and acclimated, like policies need to be changed. And it's just across the whole, especially Contra Costa County School Board.
Right.
We're thinking of some things to draw up, and I'll let you know when I get them all down, because it's a lot. I see now, because as I mentioned, we do have, being a resource parent, we have kids that's going to these middle schools, and I feel like the staff, and especially, I don't want to call on the school, but Rancho Middle School staff, when it comes to kids being harmed at school, they don't take action. I had to go up there several times because, I feel like even though a kid might not have that support, they do, because
Right.
I feel like you guys should take action if something happened on your school grounds, because by state law, this kid is a ward of the state. And also, if they on your school grounds, you have liability for them.
Yes.
So that I can
I'm so sorry. Gavin had a question too, and then Carlos has something to say, but I also wanted to not leave out what the parents are saying in the chat, because we have a parent who's saying that her son is a target now that she says something, and it shouldn't be that way. And I do know that also children get bullied just anyway, so of course they're going to get bullied when they're speaking out against things. I do know of some resources for bullying. There's Bully Talk Inc. You can find them on Instagram. You can find them on Facebook. I'm sure there's other platforms you can find her on, and she will also come to your school. So there are resources, because it is very serious that things are happening to babies.
Right.
It's blurry. It's blurry.
On my end?
No, Carlos was trying to show Bully Talk Inc., but it's a little blurry.
Okay. So question: if I have to jump off and jump back on, would it come back? Because for some reason I can't see you guys at all.
You can't see us? Oh no. Okay. Yeah. No. Just go out and come back in. You'll be okay.
Okay. 1 second.
Okay.
Let's see.
Yeah, I was going to talk about that. This right here. So she's saying that I feel my son has become a target at school.
Right.
Since I spoke up, I'm trying really hard to transfer him.
Right.
And then she goes on and says, I had to pick him up early today.
Right.
Because he was uncontrollable. I've never had to do that. So something's happening. I mean,
exactly.
Now the teachers are messing with this poor kid,
Right. Okay.
Is this at I don't know what's wrong with my computer.
It's
at a school.
She didn't say. Yeah, it's at a school.
If she asks a different question, because that's not right. That's not fair to the child.
No.
Is this the same child that spoke up at the protest?
No, I don't think so.
I don't know.
Yeah.
If so, if that's so, it's the same child. That is very discriminatory, because they was not letting that child nor a couple of the parents and the children in.
Right. If this is at KinderCare, this is unacceptable. But hey,
Yeah,
there's a lot of things that's unacceptable.
We're gonna let it. Devin has to go, so he's gonna say something and say his good night.
Okay.
Real quick.
Yes. Thank you for letting me be a part of this show tonight. I hope to do more in the future with you all. Rochelle, keep fighting. I'm here to help. I know we talked about organizing some things, so
yes,
we'll get to that, and we'll invite people out, and we'll support you where we can. Yeah, so thank you guys again. Thank you for being brave and advocate for our community. All right, I'll see y'all next time.
Thank you for being on. Good night.
Thank you guys.
Bye, Devin.
Good night,
Thank
everyone.
Have a
Thank
good
you,
night.
Carlos. Bye, Gavin. Bye, Rochelle. Bye.
See ya.
Okay, so she said
Oh, she's
that.
saying yes, it is.
Yeah, yes, it is.
Yeah, it's at KinderCare. But then,
Oh my gosh.
Then we get this.
Right. I'm a student at Pittsburgh High School, and there have been reports of sexual assault. There's no way that should be happening.
No way at all. That's what I mean by there's a lot of things that goes on in the dark that needs to come out. And honestly, and they need a voice. They need someone there that's going to do it. And I think it's time to hit down to the school district, because
absolutely. Yeah. Yeah,
Mm.
absolutely.
I had a question for you. Well, it's kind of like a rhetorical question, but what what ways can we start like um make it mandatory that schools, not not just schools, but from kidding, but from preschool and these daycare centers all the way down to the college level, that students and parents have resources that is actually in front of this. Like when you walk into the school building, the administration office, there's a list of pamphlets of mental health hotline, um, resources for parents, hotline, child abuse hotlines, and stuff like that. Like why can't that be in front of the schools where it's mandatory? Because that right there, if parents are saying they need resources, these students need resources. Students need someone to help. They need help.
Right. Um, I totally agree. I think honestly, we just have to start at our local school board or start at the city council. I think that's where the root at. Request for a meeting to speak during public comment. Bring a petition. More so, the more voices, the better. I think that the purpose of the policy is to have it in all schools, licensed daycare facilities, even have licensed child therapy information down there, trauma specialists available monthly for the kids.
Mhm.
Also, parent I can't even,
Liaison.
liaison. I always get that wrong.
Okay.
More so for conflict resolution
Mhm.
in that aspect. Emergency mental health response protocol. Um,
Mhm.
because I don't think a lot of schools talk on them topics. Also,
Mhm.
annual parent, staff, child workshops on abuse prevention.
Mhm.
Like it's not enough training and workshops with the community. I do know they have these youthful. I think the last one was this year. I actually took my kids to it. They normally have it at the LMC College. I feel like they should have a speaker on that as well. I can't. What is it? I just know it'd be a youthful event, and it is very powerful. It's always at LMC. They did the last one this year. I think. Can't think of his name, but he's the head of it. If I say his name, y'all will know exactly who I'm talking about. I can't get it off the top of my tongue right
Okay.
now. Partner with local organizations. I feel like now that I see that they're building new rec centers for the kids. I think bringing more nonprofit for our youth advocacy groups back, more so having more of that.
Mhm.
Help finding funds,
Mhm.
resources to actually keep this going, more so, and just push for new licensing regulations for
Yeah.
child care centers through the state department of education and the community care licensing, and also the school districts. And then
Absolutely.
East County Voices, your podcast, new stories, um, bigger goals, more so in that aspect. Um, and we're not just calling people out, we're calling for policies that protect our babies before damage is done, to be honest. Because imagine,
Yeah. It's been so much. You touched on it. Like it's been so much abuse everywhere. Like all over. There's, if it's not sexual assault or physical assault, they just arrested a teacher in Walnut Creek. You know,
wow.
for abusing. It's like, what is wrong with the? I'm trying to understand how these people are around children. The amount of little girls and little boys getting molested is just crazy, and that's another thing
Right.
that's a problem. And Patty also brought up a good point that stand against domestic violence needs to be in there. There's just so many different things that need to be touched on because there's so many different things these babies are going through, not just at home, but at school. They're not supposed to be being harmed at school. I
Right.
mean, like, goodness gracious, you know? So,
And you never know if a kid is
and,
getting harmed at school. I mean,
right,
school, but at home. So it's like imagine
right,
being harmed at home and also got to go to school and being harmed. It's
exactly.
it's so sad.
It's
But
unbearable.
but let's call it what it is.
Yeah.
School schools and childcare centers get millions of funding, but don't provide real time for mental health or trauma support.
Right.
And that's my biggest goal for Contra Costa County. Like I want to see this change. Only reason because I have kids that's growing up into these schools that's got to go
Right.
to schools. So I want to ensure I see some changes. Like if I'm not stopping until something changes. Like
Right.
this brought a bigger beast out of me. This
Right.
opened more eyes and more thoughts in my brain that just going to keep calculating. And the more that I keep on bringing it to awareness, I feel like if we have a mayor here, we have a council board here,
Yes.
we have voices here, we have great individuals like you, like Carlos, like Gavin, like Devin, like everyone who is love their community and they want to see a change will do it.
Yes.
They will do it.
And you know what? You would be a great person for us to take for lobby day and go up there and make policy changes, because that's what we're going to do. If that's what it's going to take is for us to enact new laws and policy, that's what our team will get on, because we've done that for housing. We'll definitely do that for babies. So that's if nothing happens down here, then I guess we'll be going to Sacramento.
We got to do it because parents are often left in the dark, dismissed, or blamed instead of being supported.
Right.
And they want to wait until harm happen. There's no crisis team, no therapy offered, no accountability, just straight cover-ups.
Right.
I just feel like it's been going on. It's 2025.
Right. And it's unacceptable. It's there should be, first of all, there should be cameras in daycares. I don't understand, because nobody should be doing anything to anybody's child and they can't see what's happening. So where the cameras are,
you can see them, and especially in the classroom. Oh, okay. Carisha said that the parent that responded about the kid being bullied at school is T. So that is the young boy that was at the protest with us.
The baby that was doing the chant with us, Kids Before Profits, or the other baby?
The other baby
spoke about
African American.
Okay.
Yeah, that's T's son, yes.
Okay.
So because he is still probably going to kindergarten and she's trying to get him out.
Yeah, we gotta get that.
We gotta get him out of there. I was trying to get him at Railroad Junction because that's like I think right across the street from there, because
it's right next to Wasim. Railroad Junction.
So I might have to call Miss. I think her name is Lily. I think I have to call her tomorrow because he got to get over there. He
has to get out of there.
Yes, and then even classrooms observations requirements after a serious allegation, because I feel like they more so just want to have the director go in there and pick out the kid who they want to talk to, but not this time. They talking to every kid, every teacher, everyone. You can't lie. You can't cover it up no more. They going back years.
And also, you can't get a report about something and then not go out that day. It should be reported that day. Somebody should be out there that day. You can't come out there months and months and months later and then expect to find what you were looking for 6 months to a year ago, and then have the audacity to put about the complaint, say it's unsubstantiated. Well, how could you substantiate it if you waited 6 months to come out? Because sometimes the people aren't even there anymore that put in the complaint.
Yeah.
Right. So if you're not, my whole thing, that reporting has to definitely, if something happens, it needs to be handled right then, that day. Whomever needs to come out, speak to the babies, whomever, parents, that day, not 6 months later, and then write a report saying it was unsubstantiated. That's your fault that it was unsubstantiated.
Yep.
You know?
A guaranteed meeting with leadership within 48 hours of a complaint, because they have I feel like community care licensing, they need to change their laws because they have a 5 to 10 day grace period. No. Why? 48 hours, 24 hours. Hey, you got 24. This is the point of emailing. I had to email when our daughter opened up. I emailed that over the weekend. They didn't respond back, of course, until that following week, but it was just like, I still let you guys know. Y'all have, from that day, y'all let y'all know. Y'all should have took y'all time, due diligence, to come out there that Monday. They didn't come out there, I feel like, until that Wednesday, more so. But I feel like they did hop on it a little faster than other cases, but still saying they should give us 48 hours to come investigate from community care licensing. Also, for the staff, I feel like staff need mandatory annual training in trauma-informed care and mandated reporting. Because what you there, you ain't doing your job.
Right.
A clear discipline policy for failing to report or protect children.
Right.
Also, real consequences. That's why I can't wait until the truth is out.
Right.
Real consequences.
Right.
Real consequences for covering up abuse. That's the hurtful part. I want to see it all go down.
Exactly. And then the sad part is it's not just Pittsburgh. It started in Antioch, and it's all 3 facilities in Antioch.
Right.
Not 1, not 2, but all 3. You know, so, and it's it's
deeper. It's deeper. Now the Antioch staff is retaliating and bullying the staff members for actually speaking up. Like, how are y'all mad that someone is actually doing the job that y'all all should have been doing?
Exactly.
And I'm pretty sure it hurts for a teacher to speak up, even though she's a part of the problem, but she also have a kid there, so she's a parent and a teacher. So just imagine the conflict of interest there.
Right.
So it's just like, but I am very proud of that teacher that's also a parent that spoke up, because not only is she speaking the truth that goes on behind when we drop our kids off, but she's laying it all out.
Good for her.
She didn't sugarcoat not one thing.
Good for her.
Honest and truthful in those emails.
We're proud of you for speaking up, and APD needs to step up. APD needs to step up and do their job, because they did not do what they needed to do, because there's been complaints, and we know that. We've made them aware. We're going to continue to make them aware. And Gavin, are you going to try to get a meeting with V-Hill? Because apparently we need to take it to the top, because nothing's being done about it.
Yeah.
I'm planning to meet with a lot of elected officials right now, and a lot of people.
No, that's really good.
And I think we need to be meeting with a whole bunch of people right now, because not only with this, but the last city council meeting last night, they decided to hire someone that posts racist slurs and race and homophobic stuff on their page. Like,
that's not good.
Right.
That's not all that shows a lot.
And then when we brought it up to the city council, this said person called the NAACP adult branch president a F-word troll.
Wow.
The adult branch president of the NAACP.
An effing troll.
But wait, here's the kicker. So if y'all go back and look at the city council meeting last a couple weeks ago, it's still recent. They went and attacked the city manager Bessie Scott and the former city attorney Mr. Thomas.
Right.
But yet we're the ones that are aggressive, we're the ones attacking, we're the ones that are bullying him.
Well, we know what that is. You know, that their slogan was "Take our town back." You know, when we were out, campaigning for people. So we already understand. We know Antioch was a sundown town. They want to get back to the sundown roots, because there's too many brown people out there. So everything they can do, they're going to do. They always attack, twist, turn everything around, and make themselves out to be the victims somehow, and themselves out to be the ones who, are being treated aggressively, when we know that's not the case. So it's unfortunate, but we still hold them all accountable, and they're going to do what needs to be done regardless. And then people who are hateful and whatever are going to be removed, because we're not going to deal with, that type of nonsense here. Right. Unfortunately, the country did it, but we're not doing it.
Yeah. We're not here to beg. We're here to demand change, back voices, and legal expectations.
Exactly. And that's what we do. We handle everything legally. That way it gets done. So as Patty is pointing out, the courts are part of the problem, because they are. We've said it from the beginning. Everything from the top down needs to be redone. Everything, if we had a do-over button, we'd push it, because everything needs to be redone. Everything needs to be restructured. Everything needs to be, all the old needs to be thrown out and new needs to be brought in. Just like you say, there's no way it shouldn't be 24 hours of a report, it just shouldn't be. So none of this stuff should be happening because they are mandated. Community care licensing should be reporting within 24 hours, period. No excuses. There needs to be cameras so that the babies are protected. It's just, there's just so much, but that's okay. Because guess what? One step at a time, and we'll get things done by moving forward one step at a time.
Yes.
And then, is there a final thing you want to say before we get to a couple of community updates we have to do?
To be honest, why I just want to let everyone know who's watching why this matter is because what happened at KinderCare can happen anywhere, and also because parents are tired of hearing we're investigating
Right.
while our babies is suffering, because covering up trauma is cheaper than protecting kids, and that's a broken system that we gotta fix. And honestly, the Child Act, the C is for child, H is for healing, I is for integrity, L is for liaison, and D is for Defense Act. And we're not stopping.
Yeah.
So that's all I have to say.
Awesome. Amazing. You're amazing. Keep fighting. We know you will, and we got you. Like I told you from the get-go, we got you. We mean it. We stand on business always. We mean what we say. We say what we mean. And we also stand on, we are people of integrity. We stand on truth, and we stand on receipts. We don't just sit up here and talk about stuff that we don't know what we're talking about.
Right.
Everything we talk about, facts backed up by receipts to cover those facts, because we don't deal in nonsense like a lot of people like to do. So with that said, I want to also let the city of Pittsburgh know that you guys need to voice your opinions. You need to go on and say you're in opposition, because they're trying to dump toxic waste at Keller Canyon off of Bailey Road in our landfill, which I don't know why you're trying to pollute our city. We have enough refineries and all these other things going on. No, we don't want anyone to get sick anywhere. So you need to find somewhere to dump where there's not people, so no one would be affected by that. No, we reject you with your offer of trying to dump. They've been trying to do this for years. They like keep coming back and keep coming back and keep coming back, trying to do this. They've already been sued before. Like, I don't understand what it's going to take. Do they think people are going to forget, or at some point we're not going to care? There will never be a time where Pittsburgh will accept toxic waste in our landfill. So find somewhere else to go. And that doesn't mean take it over to Richmond or anywhere else. It means go somewhere where there are not people and no population, so that you're not harming anyone. Figure it out. Or how about you stop using toxic things? How about that? You won't have to look for somewhere to dump it. And then I probably have some other stuff, but there's so much stuff going on, I can't even think of it right now. So I apologize for that. But the main priority right now is getting these babies taken care of, getting these parents taken care of, making sure KinderCare is held accountable, KinderCare is shut down, whatever it takes to make a change and get things done right. Because what we're not going to stand for is the abuse of children and sweeping it under the rug and not caring, not reporting, not doing anything. And that means the police, it means the daycare, it means anybody and everybody who's not doing what needs to be done. And I don't know why I would have to say this, but think of it as if it were your child, because I'm telling you, if it was your kid that somebody was hurting, you'd be doing something about it, period.
Right.
So stop just sitting back like it doesn't matter because it's not affecting you, because anything affecting anybody is going to affect you. It's going to come to your front door too, regardless, whether you think so or not. So don't just sit back and do nothing. And then the next school board meeting, when is it? Shoot. I know it's on Wednesdays, right? Isn't it on the same, like every other Wednesday? Patty, you know when it is, girl. Tell her to tell us when it is, because she knows when it is. Hang on a second.
There's the Pittsburgh one, right?
Our
Is that
school
what you-
board for Pittsburgh is I think I want to say it's on the 29th.
And she's looking up the one for Antioch right now.
Antioch is on Wednesdays. I know that for sure because we used to go to that one. Pittsburgh and Antioch. Oh, okay. No, it's not the same. I don't. Hold on. I'm sorry. It is.
Every
So
other
yeah,
Wednesday.
Antioch is every other Wednesday at like what 6:30, and then I know. Didn't Miss Pope say that Pittsburgh Unified board meeting is on the 29th?
Yeah.
Okay, so then that would mean that Pittsburgh's is on Thursdays. I don't know if it's every other Thursday. I haven't checked. I have to double check. We'll get back to you on that one. So, Gavin, you have anything you want to add?
You want us to talk about the city council meeting?
You already did, baby.
Oh, okay. I'm so heated from that. I think the other thing that we should talk about
Thank you, Patty.
is where is it? I just had that. Oh, we're going
May
to the
14th and May 21st. There you are.
Welcome back.
May 19th. In Sacramento, the NAACP is. Yeah, it's going to be a great event. We're going to lobby for the bills that we want to see in action, and we're training youth to become lobbyists and teaching them about government.
When is
Okay.
that? May 19th?
Yeah,
Okay, Monday.
yeah.
What time would that be?
I know we starting at 8 a.m., but we're arriving at the place at 7 a.m.
Nice.
You're gonna have an early day. You spending the night up there, or are you driving up in the morning?
I think we're driving up in the morning.
Okay.
That's nice.
Yeah, last time I think we left around like 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning.
Oh goodness. All right.
I knew that was Monday because that's the day after my birthday.
May the 18th, you guys. Don't forget to shout out Carlos Tacos.
Yeah.
Oh, got you.
I'll post
And
my
then-
Venmo. Buy
and
me a
then we
taco.
al-
Buy me a taco.
I love tacos. I eat tacos every day.
Absolutely.
Wow. That's one of the
Who
four basic.
doesn't love tacos?
Right. I see that sign back there too, Carlos. I love tacos.
It's funny because there's a tacos for everything. Like I know, what show was that where Gump was talking about Bubba Gump? Remember Bubba? He said he named the shrimp for every
He did.
meal, and it's the same with tacos. You know, there's so many. I even invented a few things, man. But it's like it's not really because if you just take every culture, you can and their food, you can make you know tacos with every culture's food. You know, it's endless.
Just tell them about your lumpacos. Tell her about your lumpacos.
The lumpia tacos, yeah, with the Caribbean chicken on the inside. Most lumpias have a filler of like carrots and cabbage and all that, you know, with a little bit of meat. But mine's just all chicken.
We're gonna need them for the next protest.
Right? And he
Right.
makes some sauce to dip them in too.
Man,
Oh,
sauce, yeah.
I eat them
Sauce.
early.
Yeah, we'll have to have it. Let
And
me know.
speaking of, we will be organizing for. Tell them where you want to protest next, darling.
Yeah.
Rachel.
Where do I want to protest next? I want to protest everywhere that needs to be protested, and that is Kinder Care, community care licensing. more so in that aspect. That's what my main go-to that is now. Because honestly, that is where them the stoppers, them the ones that ensure that the truth is out. Which I'm really really happy that we have the investigator that we do have over this case, because she's doing no playing.
Good.
She's doing her job in above beyond her job.
Awesome.
That should have been there. That's who should have been overseeing that, and also her partner. That's also co-working with her manager, her supervisor. It's two of them that is, when I say, is doing everything that they can to ensure this never happens again, and everyone is held accountable.
Awesome. Thank you to them. Thank you.
Yeah. I don't want to say their names, but the mom watching, they know exactly who I'm speaking of, and the gentleman and her as well. So they doing everything that they have to do as communicator licensed investigators.
Okay. Camila said, them lumpacos. They are really good. They're really good. So yeah, I don't know. When we go to community care licensing and have our protest, maybe Carlos might whip us up some and bring them along.
Yeah, Oakland. I think that was in Oakland.
It's in Oakland.
15 something in Oakland. But I think that's where the next protest should be at. Even though we're doing their job, but hey, y'all should have been doing it.
I didn't see that comment. I was scrolling back because I'm totally for this comment that was said earlier.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. The cameras.
Yes, they should, most definitely. Because
I like how she said around the clock.
Yes.
Like it should be on the app. Our son, it was a daycare in Concord. You was able to see them. It was the cameras was everywhere besides the bathrooms and things like that.
Right.
They was outside. We was able to see them. They have a nap. We was able to see them in the classrooms. We was able to see them. So it wasn't like, and it was live feed.
Yes.
Thing we can even do playback if we wanted to go.
Was there audio?
That should be mandatory.
There was no audio. It was just all video. That's the only thing. It was all. But I feel like cameras should have audio and video.
Yes, because you need to hear what they're saying, because they could be saying some really messed up things.
Right.
They do. People do say messed up things.
Yes.
And it's just as hurtful as being hit.
You know?
Yes.
Because then they know that there's no audio, so then they can just turn their back to the camera and just boom, you know?
Right.
Yes. But yeah, we
there we go, change policies.
It's a lot of changes, and it's a list. It's over like 10 or 15 of them. And even mandatory training for the staff, cell phone policy, headphone policy. That's actually in their code of ethics that they don't do.
Psych evaluations.
Wow.
Psych evaluations, exactly. Fingerprint.
Right.
They obviously need to do better background checks and vetting, because they're not doing their due diligence.
Oh yeah, Paula, the director, she just posted on her Facebook, and that's how she get new staff. She just call out, like, you need to actually have them apply to the website and go through the proper channels. But yeah, she posted it, but she luckily made her page private. I wish I screenshotted it when I seen it, because she did have a post up. If you're looking for employment, I am hiring at KinderCare.
Wow.
On her Facebook page.
That's wow. Not Survey Monkey, so you can at least be screened to see if you're somewhat a fit for the job, but on my Facebook page.
Stress test.
Yeah, stress test.
I know that's right.
Yes, right.
Wow.
That's exactly what they need. They also they need a lot more than that, than just they don't do their job.
Thank you, Dr. Payton. Right. If crying babies or kids stress you out, teaching is not for you.
That's it.
Exactly.
That's
exactly. It. You got to have a passion.
Long business.
Honestly,
if you don't love babies, why are you working with babies? Like, you have to have a love for them and a love to nurture them and grow them into being amazing, productive adults. Like, whatever you do to these babies is going to stick with them their entire lives.
Right.
All right, Carlos, you gonna
any last words, everybody?
Keep your hands off the babies. Keep
Right.
your hands
Justice is coming.
off the babies. Yes.
Accountability is coming.
Yes.
The truth is coming. That's
Yes.
all I do. But that's
Yes.
my words. And thank you for having me, Carlos, Nicole, Gavin,
Thank
and all
you
of
for
them.
being here.
I really do appreciate it. And I thank you for supporting me and standing with our family and loving us like your own. So
Yes.
all that matters to us. And now we're a family. It takes
Absolutely.
and we do
You're stuck with us.
Yep, you're stuck with us now. You're our baby.
All right. I'm gonna let
here.
Gavin close us out.
Go on, baby Gavin.
Thank you for everyone for speaking out. Continue to speak out. Miss Rachel, I love you. Thank you for so much for speaking out. You don't have to do it, but you done it. And thank you for speaking out, because it's in some kind of way, it's like my own way of getting a little bit of justice in addition to what has already happened to me
Right.
going to school. So, and you're speaking up for millions of other kids that are not even in pre-K. You're speaking up for the kids that are going in high school. You're speaking to the kids that are in college. You're speaking for the kids that are going through it, even in college. You're speaking up for those that feel like they don't have a voice. And that's what matters. When one speak out, there's going to be more that come.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Absolutely.
And like Dr. Kimberly Payton said, mom's work in advocacy is never done.
That's right.
Right.
That's a fact.
Mm-hmm.
So with that, thank you all for tuning in. Thank you guys for being on the show. Oh,
Thank you.
very informative. And for the rest of you guys that are out there, go ahead and like and subscribe, share. That helps us, the channel, grow.
It's going.
And this is every Wednesday, 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So we'll see you next time. Thank you all. Peace and love. We'll see you
Good night.
Later. Bye-bye.
soon. Bye. Melting.